So you're thinking about moving to Wichita, and you've probably done a little bit of Googling and seen the low cost of living, and maybe even checked out a few houses online and thought, man, you can actually afford a really nice place here. And you'd be right. Housing is super affordable, the commutes are really short, and people really are as friendly as you've heard. But the biggest mistakes that families make when moving here, it has almost nothing to do with the house that they buy or the job that they take. It's a simple planning mistake, and one that happens months before the moving truck ever shows up. And it's the kind of thing that can quietly drain your budget and honestly make or break how much you enjoy living here. Okay, before we jump in, if you are planning to move to Wichita, I've got a free guide that walks you through neighborhoods, the schools, and the local things to do. And you can grab a free copy in the link below in the description. I'm confident it will save you a ton of time and stress later on. And hey, if you're new here, my name is Claussen. I'm a Wichita realtor, a local dad, and the guy behind Next Stop Wichita. And I've lived here my entire life, and I've helped hundreds of families relocate to the Wichita area. And let me tell you, no matter how prepared people are, I see the same handful of mistakes that come up again and again. So in this video, I'm gonna be breaking down the 5 things I wish I knew before moving to Wichita, from picking the wrong side of town to the hidden costs of buying brand new homes. But first, we're starting with the #1 regret that I hear from buyers all the time, and it's one that can totally change how you feel about your move here, so you're definitely gonna wanna stick around for this. All right, let's start with the big one. The #1 mistake I see families make when moving to Wichita is that they pick a house, not a community. They fall in love with all the photos of the house online, the granite countertops, the big backyard, and they totally forget to check out what's happening around that house. So in Wichita, that usually means the school district. Now, even if you don't have kids, this still matters a lot for you. So in our area, school districts are tied closely to home values and the long-term appreciation that you can see over the long run. And homes in certain districts tend to sell faster and hold more value consistently over time. But for families with kids, it's obviously an even bigger deal. I've had clients move here thinking that all the schools would be about the same, only to realize later that every district operates a little bit differently. From the class sizes to the extracurricular programs to just the daily schedules. So doing some research ahead of time can save you a lot of surprises later on. And I totally get it. Wichita's affordability can make it easy to focus just on the price tag, but taking time to understand the community feel and what different areas offer will help you make a more confident choice. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a quick rundown of the different school districts around here in Wichita. So we have several separate districts, each with its own boundaries, tax base, and overall culture. And there's not just one best district overall. It really just depends on what fits your family's needs and goals. So here's a quick overview, and I'll link official district sites and state resources below so you can do your own comparisons. Okay, first on the list is gonna be Andover, which is USD 385, and it's east of Wichita and known for newer facilities, strong academic programs, and an active community. And housing here tends to run higher than the metro average, and property taxes tend to reflect that. Next is the Mays District, which is USD 266, and it's located northwest of Wichita. And this district has grown quickly over the past decades with a lot of new schools and family-friendly neighborhoods popping up just all over the place, as well as a lot of new development in general. Next, I'll talk about the Wichita Public School District, which is USD 259, and it's the largest district in Kansas with a wide variety of programs and magnet options across the city. And because it's so big, each school can have its own unique offerings and culture, so you just have to look where you're looking to buy the house. Next is Derby, USD 260, which is just south of Wichita. And Derby has a close-knit community and a big focus on school activities and athletics. This is definitely a suburb that you need to check out. And the last one I'll include in this little breakdown is Valley Center, which is USD 262. It's located just north of Wichita, and it's a smaller district with a quieter, small town atmosphere, and it has really easy access to the Wichita amenities. And this is personally where I grew up going to school myself. Okay, so the goal isn't to memorize all of these, it's just to recognize that your home search shouldn't start with just the square footage of the house you're looking for. It should really start with figuring out which community fits your values, your lifestyle, and your long-term goals. And once you have that, then you can find the right house inside that area. All right, so that brings us to the second big mistake, and that's underestimating how different life feels from one side of Wichita to the other side. So when people are relocating here, they see that the average commute is only about 18 minutes, and they think, sweet, I can live literally anywhere. But the question isn't how far things are, it's kind of just how your day-to-day life feels once you live there. So overall, Wichita's metro has a true east versus west side personality. It's not a huge rivalry, really, more like two different flavors of Kansas-style living. And picking the side that fits your lifestyle can make a huge difference on how much you enjoy being here. If you head out west, think Goddard, parts of Mays, and West Wichita, you'll find a very laid-back suburban feel, and there's a lot of newer developments, plenty of space, and neighborhoods where kids are out riding bikes until dark. You've also got a lot of family favorites like the Sedgwick County Zoo, the Sedgwick County Park, and the New Market Square for shopping, dining, or ice cream runs. And some neighborhoods even have lake access. Those are old sand pit communities where you can kayak or ski right behind your house. That's a unique thing to the west side because you really won't find that anywhere on the east side. So if your perfect Saturday is grilling out while the kids play in the yard or running into neighbors at youth soccer games, the west side lifestyle might just be right for you. But the trade-off is it's more spread out and has fewer locally owned restaurants and nightlife options. So if you like to be out and about in the evenings, you might find yourself driving a bit more. Now on the east side, which is going to include areas like East Wichita, Andover, and parts of Bel Air, you're going to get a bit more of a city vibe. You'll have established neighborhoods with big trees like College Hill or Crown Heights mixed with new developments popping up further east. This side of town has a lot more upscale shopping and dining spots. We have Bradley Fair, the waterfront, Chicken and Pickle, and tons of local coffee shops. It's also closer to some of Wichita's biggest employers, medical centers, and the university in town. So if you like walkable areas, a little more hustle and bustle, and being close to everything, the east side might feel more your speed. But the trade-off is that homes in the most popular areas can cost a little bit more, and the neighborhoods are usually a little bit denser. So the key takeaway isn't that one side is better than the other, it's just that they're a little bit different. So before you fall in love with a listing, take the time to figure out what your daily rhythm is going to look like. Do you want quieter evenings and a big backyard, or a shorter drive to restaurants and work? Do you want newer construction or older homes with character and trees that have been there for like 50 years? And once you're clear on that, your home search gets a lot easier and you'll end up somewhere that actually fits your family's lifestyle. All right, now let's move on to mistake number 3, because there's something pretty exciting about buying a brand new home, right? You get to pick out all of your own finishes, have everything under a warranty, and it has that new paint smell. So it's easy to get caught up in the dream of owning a brand new home. And that's good news because here in Wichita, new construction is literally everywhere. You've got neighborhoods popping up all over the place in Park City, Andover, Mays, Goddard, Derby, all growing really fast with shiny new homes and community pools. But the main mistake here is jumping into a new build contract without really understanding what you're signing up for. I've seen it way too many times where folks fall in love with the model home and overlook 3 big things, which is the builder, the lot, and special assessments that we deal with here in Wichita. So first is the builder. So not all builders are created equal. Some have fantastic reputations and will stand behind their work long after closing, and others, they might just disappear when something goes wrong. So before you sign anything, you need to do your homework, look up online reviews, check the Better Business Bureau, and most important, ask a local realtor who's experienced in new homes for their honest feedback based on their local experience. And a pro tip would be to actually go talk to someone who lives in one of the builder's completed homes and ask them what the process was like and how the builder handled the warranty issues. That'll tell you way more than any brochure of theirs could ever tell you. The second one is the lot. So the model that you toured might be perfect, and the lot that you're looking at buying could be way different than that. And I always tell my buyers, you need to go stand on the exact lot where your home is going to sit, and you need to visit it at different times of the day to know, is it next to a future busy road? Does it back up to a drainage area? And then what's going in behind it that's currently just an empty field? You can sometimes find the community's master plan online or through the developer, and just a few minutes of research here can save you years of frustration down the road. Okay, the third one is special assessments, and this one surprises almost everyone that moves here. So in Wichita and the suburbs, the city often finances the cost of the new streets, the sewers, the sidewalks, and the homeowners are actually the ones that have to pay it back through a separate property tax called a special assessment. These can last anywhere from 15 to 20 years and often add a few $100s a month to your payment. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It helps keep the home prices more affordable up front, but it's something that you definitely need to budget for. So before making an offer, you need to ask for these specials, payoff amount, and the annual payment so you know the true cost of owning that new house. And that way you're not surprised when your mortgage escrow goes up later on. So overall, new construction can be awesome. You just want to go about it the right way, with the right builder, a good lot, and a clear understanding of the real costs. And if you know all of those things, it can absolutely be a smart move for your family. Okay, moving on to mistake number 4, and this one sounds really simple, but I see it happen all the time. So people will spend hours test driving the car that they're gonna buy, but only like 30 minutes test driving the neighborhood where they're about to live for a long time. The main mistake here is just buying the house after one quick showing and never coming back until closing. You really just can't get the full picture of a neighborhood in a short visit on a quiet Wednesday afternoon. A house is more than walls and square footage. It's really everything around it, like the traffic, the noise, the neighbors, and even how it feels during the evening hours. For example, I had a client once who bought in a really pretty established neighborhood. Their showing was perfect. It felt like there was birds chirping, there was no traffic, it was super peaceful. And then fast forward a few weeks, they drive by on a Friday evening and realize the street turns into a shortcut to a busy road. There's cars flying by seemingly nonstop, and they were really heartbroken to see that. So here's what I actually recommend. Once you find a home that you love, become a temporary neighbor in the neighborhood. Go by in the morning to see what the commute's actually like, and then stop by when school lets out to see how busy the streets get. And then if you have time, visit again on a weekend night to see, are the neighbors out grilling or throwing really loud parties? And a really smart thing to do would be to talk to the people that live in the neighborhood. Take a walk, say hi to someone mowing their lawn, or stop and see if there's any families outside, and just ask, hey, what do you like about living here? Or is there anything you wish you'd known before moving into the neighborhood? You'll be surprised to see how honest people really are. And just talking to the neighbors, you'll learn things that no real estate listing will ever tell you, like how fast the snow melts on your street or how kids play after school. All right, let's move on to the last mistake, and this is one that ties everything together, and honestly, it's the one that makes the biggest difference in how smoothly your move goes. So mistake number 5 is working with the wrong real estate agent. Now, I'm not just saying that because I'm a realtor. You don't have to work with me. I could recommend you to some other great local agents, but it's because the person you choose to guide you through this process has a massive impact on how things turn out. And the right agent can literally save you thousands and protect you from a lot of stress, and even help you avoid homes that would have been a total nightmare down the road. You really want someone who's in this full time, not an agent that sells a few homes a year on the side, but someone who's out in the market every single day, seeing the trends, the contracts, the surprises, and the red flags that you need to look out for. And just like anything else, you really can't become an expert by doing this part-time. And when your agent has a lot of experience, it changes everything. They often don't need that one sale to pay their bills, so they can actually give you honest advice without having what we call commission breath. So if they sell a lot of houses, it's a lot more likely that they'll tell you what you need to hear, not just what you want to hear. Another huge plus in an agent is finding someone who's been around remodeling and construction quite a bit. So personally, I've flipped and remodeled plenty of homes myself, and it makes a huge difference on how I can guide my clients. For example, I can usually spot issues before an inspection ever happens, like things like roof wear, foundation cracks, HVAC age, or hidden costs that can come along with those updated homes. I can also tell you roughly what repairs will cost and connect you with affordable local contractors that I personally use. That kind of hands-on experience helps you make a lot smarter decisions with your money, especially if you're going to do a couple projects down the road. But most importantly, you need an agent that is honest, like brutally honest if necessary. For example, I've talked to plenty of people out of buying houses that they were actually interested because I knew they would turn into money pits. I truly believe that my job isn't to sell you something, it's to give you the full picture so that you can make a confident, really informed decision, even if that means that we walk away from that house. So when you're interviewing agents, you need to go beyond how many houses have you sold. You need to ask questions like, is this your full-time career? How do you handle tough inspection issues? What kind of experience do you have with repairs and negotiations? Can you give me an example of when you advise a client not to buy a house? If you ask them these questions, their answers will tell you everything you need to know, because at the end of the day, you don't need a door opener. You need a guide that knows Wichita, knows the houses, and genuinely cares about your long-term success. So there you have it. Those are the 5 things I wish I knew before moving to Wichita. So let's do a quick recap of what we've covered. First is you don't just buy a house, you need to think about the community and the school district first. Second, you need to understand the lifestyle differences between the east and the west side of town. Third, if you're buying new construction, you need to do a lot of your homework on the builder, the lot, and special assessments. 4, you need to test drive your future neighborhood at different times of the day. And 5, you need to work with a local expert who actually knows Wichita inside and out. Moving to a city is a huge deal. It's really exciting, but it's also a little nerve-wracking. Wichita is full of opportunity, great people, and tons of community pride, but where you choose to land really shapes your experience here. And my goal with this video isn't just to help you avoid mistakes, it's to make sure that you love where you end up buying. So if you found this video helpful, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. It really helps more families find these videos, and make sure you subscribe for more local guides, community spotlights, and housing updates right here on Next Stop Wichita. And if you're planning to move or just starting to explore Wichita, you need to grab my free Wichita Community Guide down in the description below. It breaks down all of the major suburbs, the school districts, neighborhoods, and things you need to know so you can figure out which one fits your family best. And of course, I'd be happy to answer all of your questions. You are welcome to reach out to me. All of my contact information will be down below. So thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you on the next one.